For bread. These bread makers do draw quite a bit of power, so you have to be very careful that you don't flatten your battery. So about every half an hour, just start your motor for 4 or 5 minutes, idle it, make sure when you're finished that your battery's not down.
What about that?
I'm heading into the Pain Fine Gold battery. And a lady friend of mine here, Elaine, she really is an endangered character. In fact, she's the only woman in Australia that works a gold battery. A gold battery is basically where they smash up the rock to get the gold out. Not only is Elaine an endangered character, this is virtually the last of the old gold batteries that's still working in the whole of Australia. How's it going?
Oh, flat out.
Good to see you. Hey, flat out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you busy?
Yes,
Yeah?
always busy.
You want a bit of crushing?
Yes, yep,
Hey?
yep.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah,
Now you can hear me.
Yeah.
Now, Elaine, there's not a lot of people running batteries, but you'd be the only woman in Australia running a gold battery, wouldn't you?
Yes, I am. Batteries were always run by the government, and when we bought the battery back in 1987, I had to learn to run it, but I had my father to show me how to run it.
You either crush your own rock from your own mine,
Yes.
or if people come in, they can hire it and you crush the rock for them.
I crush their rock on an hourly basis.
And what do you do first? You tip it into that big bin up the back there?
Yes, they come in, they bring a truckload of ore, they tip it into the bin, start it up, the rock goes through the crusher, it breaks it up to whatever size you want, and then we send it up the conveyor into a second bin, which is the same size as the top bin. And from the top bin, it feeds self-feeding down to the bottom to where the stamps are. It goes in a little tiny bin down below and goes into the stamps.
So once the rock is a nice fine powder, it goes into the box, and you squirt water through there, and do you do anything else?
Yes, every hour we put mercury in the box, and while it's churning up and down, the mercury amalgamates the big gold, which stays in the box.
Right.
And then only the very, very fine gold is forced out through that screen with the water. The pressure of the water forces out the very fine gold.
And then it goes out onto that big table.
Yes, and that table is a copper plate which we coat with mercury. The reason we do that is that mercury sticks to copper, gold sticks to mercury.
I learned this at school and I never knew why. Now I know why, if you ever have a gold battery. You get a real rush of adrenaline when you can start to see those little flecks of gold on the table.
It does, yes, and you're hoping and hoping there's more to come.
Yeah.
And the big piece of gold, they stay behind that screen until we finish crushing.
And how do you get the gold off the table?
We scrape it up with rubber scrapers, and then we put it into a bowl, and then I put a calico cloth, or chamois cloth, which I squeeze out and make into balls of amalgam.
What's
By squeezing,
amalgam? What's amalgam?
Amalgam is gold and mercury mixed together.
Oh, because the mercury's hanging onto that gold.
And then normally that a ball of amalgam is roughly 50% gold, 50% mercury. And then once we do that, we then put the amalgam balls into a retort pot. You put clay all around the top of it and smear it. Put the little bolts in and tap them on so make sure it's tight. And then we take it outside, we put it on the fire. There's a little water tube there. Attach a hose to that. The mercury, once it gets hot enough, it vaporises up through that pipe, and as it comes down, it gets to the water tube area, then it condenses back into liquid form. So once all the mercury comes out, you open up that retort pot, and in there should be your gold cake. Now pour this gold here into this little shovel, and then once you get the gold cake out, You put it into a crucible with a handful of borax. Now the borax is a cleaning agent. You then light your little furnace up, which consists of diesel and electric fan, and you must have 1100 degree heat to melt the gold. And depending on the amount of gold, it'll take roughly 30 to 40 minutes to melt. And then once it's melted, we pour it into a mould and let it cool down, which takes a couple of minutes for the slag to set. Once the slag's set, I tip it out, tap the slag off, and then you tip it in acid and water to clean the gold. Now it's in water, and cool it down.
Oh, geez, that looks pretty good. And there's the end result of a lot of hard work. That's called the primary bar, and that'll go straight down from here to the vault at the Perth Mint.
How much is gold worth these days?
Gold at the moment is around about 560 Australian dollars.
For what?
An ounce.
For an ounce?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
A lot of hard work too.
Yeah, a lot of hard work, that's right.
Yes.
A lot of people go broke, don't they?
They do, because gold is a lot of expense in mining.
Now, you do a little bit of prospecting as well, don't you?
Yes, I go out and metal detect.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find petrol money, sometimes I find a bit better. Something
here?
there, something there.
Something down here, where?
Yes, something
What,
big.
in about this area here?
Yeah, yeah,
Eh?
yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, round about here.
Yeah. Can I just have a listen?
Yep.
What? Yeah, let me just... I can hear that. It's a funny noise.
Fairly big. Oh no, back here further. And I'll go over the dirt.
That's
No,
something?
No,
You,
no.
you just keep detecting for it.
Yeah, yeah. It's big. Oh,
There it is.
oh,
Is that gold?
oh, yes.
Eh? Where is it? Give me a look. Are you fatty? You can see it here, there now, look. Hey, that's all that, that's
all
gold.
gold.
But it's not a whole lump of gold, it's only, what's that in, a bit of quartz?
Oh, that's made my day.
I've just pulled up on the Arnhem Highway. Have a look at the map. Now, Darwin down there to the west. Up here you've got Jabiru, Kakadu National Park and Arnhem Land further over to the east. Now, way out here on the coast of the